I'm not gonna do this episode for the sake of clips. I'm gonna do an episode from my heart. I'm gonna do an episode from how I actually feel. 'Cause there's a lot of things that weigh on me, that bother me, and I'm gonna talk about them on this episode because maybe it's something that other people may be able to relate to. Maybe it's something that somebody might be going through at the moment, and I kind of want to use this opportunity to motivate them and let them know that yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna let these niggas know, but let's find out together. Let's start the show. Welcome to another episode of the Tutson Interruption. My name is Trey Tutson. Thank you to everybody that's been listening on the audio version. Thank you for everybody that is tuned in and watched on YouTube. I appreciate that very much. Big shout out to Total Dallas. Thank you, brother, for commenting. If you comment on YouTube, I will be sure to give you a shout out, and in the future, I will put you on my list for giveaways. I'll DM you, find out your address, and I'll send you some either Tutson Interruption merchandise or some merchandise from my album that comes out. It comes out June 9th. It's called Blissful, Blissful. It's my first comedy album. It's going to be put out by Helium Records. I'm excited just to have an album to be coming out. I'm excited to have something to promote and push. So, excusez-moi. Be on the lookout for that. But like I said, shout out to Total Dallas. Shout out to Lily. I appreciate it. Lily helps out a lot. She's very instrumental throughout this whole everything that I'm doing. You know, she's helpful. She's understanding. She's a lot. She's somebody that's way more than a friend. You know what I mean? Like, just one of those people that just get entered into the family category. Um, and I appreciate that because I need people like that right now in my life. Shout out to Gene for always being helpful. If he's listening, I know he drives trucks. He might be listening. He might not be listening, but big shout out to him. This the shout out episode. You ever remember that? They used to have that. Rappers used to have that. They'd have a shout out track. They would just like the end of the song, they would rap a little bit, and then at the end they would just be like, "Big shout out to my homie Big T. Shout out to Lil Mercy. Shout out to." They would have a big just shouting out everybody, all these people you don't know, probably would never see. I like how when rappers would say something like, they would like shout out a dude that they feel like, you know, is like it's gonna be a rising star. And somebody it just didn't pan out. They'd be like, shout out to my homie Lil Scooty. Lil Scooty, you next up, man. And Lil Scooty dropping, everything flops. It's just like, Scooty, you could have kept this shit. You should have stayed in artist development. This ain't working out, Scooty. Um, no, I just like shouting everybody out. My brother, my big brother, who's doing his thing. He's always supportive. He always will randomly send me a long text of encouragement, letting me know that he's proud of me. And that's always helpful. You need to hear that. I want to do people know that, man. You know what I mean? People need to hear that you're proud of them. You know, they need to know that. We need to know that. I need to know that. I have to hear that. I mean, it ain't going to stop whatever I got going on, but, you know, I wondered this. And maybe this should have been the cold open, but it ain't. God damn it. It's part of the show. I wonder if people knew what people was going through on a day-to-day basis. Would it make them be less mean? Like, would people not, would it be less drama just in our day-to-day life? There's big world shit that is out of our control that it's just gonna be the problem anyway. But or they're just gonna use to make it seem like it's the problem anyway to navigate us in some weird position when we end up against each other. Because as you can see, the only thing that I mean, I'm in America. I don't know about the rest of the world, but in America, it seems like the only thing that fuels this country is division. If it's gonna divide us, goddamn it, it's gonna be promoted. But I want it of us, the everyday person, who, for the most part, hope I didn't fuck up nobody's day down there. Sorry, I don't have an ashtray. But I wonder if, for those listening, I just like dumped my cigar, just dumped my cigar down off the patio, and that shit made a. Psh. I mean, it's raining, so it might have just been it hitting, but it made a noise that sounded like I fried an egg. So I'm a little worried. I got my dog here with me. Let's see if y'all can see him from this angle. No, Tommy, they kill can't see you, buddy. He just be sitting there looking like a little wise. I'm gonna post a picture on the Tutson Interruption page on Instagram. You should follow that. You should follow it. It's a good page to follow. It's just mostly clips and stuff from the podcast. I would have clips from the live shows, but they have hold me on getting that footage, so I don't have it right now. Tommy, what you think gonna happen? So, but I just wonder if we were able to be like, if a person knew what you was going through, would they be kinder to you? Because I'm constantly, as of lately, I just been getting into it with people. Not even really getting into it with people. People have been trying to like start beefs with me, and this is me, y'all. I'm a non-confrontational person. It's not gonna happen. If you ever try to get a rise out of me, it's not gonna happen. The only people that can push me to that limit is people that I care about. It's people that I care about. And, unfortunately, even that has been a thing. You know what I mean? The people that I love and care about has done stuff that, that I don't even want to say rub you the wrong way. It just breaks your heart when you find out certain things. So, but I've been like lately, like I just been getting like sort of called out by a group of people. And, man, I'm really just kind of reaching a point where I don't think I give a fuck anymore about what anybody thinks, about what anybody feels, or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm living my life. I'm trying to live my life to the best of my ability. And why it seems that every time you trying to progress, you're trying to uh, increase, there's always some funk ass people that show up and they don't want to see you do any of that. They try to throw a monkey wrench into what you got going on. Man, look, I've been doing comedy that long. I've been doing comedy about 7 years, and in a small level in the scene, there's whatever I'm viewed as something or whatever, right? And I appreciate it. I do. I appreciate all of that because I can remember my first time coming around, just wanting to be on shows, just wanting to do 5 minutes, being confused as a young comic of like, how the hell do I go from 5 minutes? How does somebody do an hour of jokes? I remember thinking that, like, how does somebody do an hour? How are they doing that? That's crazy. I got 5 funky ass minutes, and all 5 of them ain't even good. So how am I go from this funk ass 5 to a magnificent hour? And you still strive to get to that hour or whatever, but you start seeing the process of it. You start, oh, this is how you do this. You add this, and you start learning all of the tricks and everything that's in it. And whatever. Among some people, I'm like sort of whatever. They like me a lot, and some veteran guys like me a lot, and that think I'm talented and all this type of stuff, and I appreciate all of that. Um, However, I never thought that I'd be somebody that people would have some sort of I don't say animosity, but just sort of like just trying to like make me out to be in opposition. Man, I'm not confrontational. I some shit pop off, I'm gonna figure out a way to de-escalate things so I can get to my car and get home. I don't give a damn what it is. I'm getting to my car and I'm getting home. Yeah, you took my wallet, but that's fine. You ain't take my house keys. You didn't take my car keys. So I'm about to get in my car and I'm about to go home. I have no time for any of it. Man, I'm just gonna tell y'all this situation. So there's a comic, right? I ain't saying no names. Ain't gonna name no names, nothing like that. There's a comic in the scene that it's a younger comic. You know what I mean? Newer comic. Haven't been doing it that long. And one of the things as comics that we do is we try to help each other as comics as far as the craft goes. All right. This is a thing that we help each other with. We help each other with tags, meaning we help add to a joke. We help let you know that you may be having parallel thought to another comic. Like, yo, there's a comic out here that has a bit like that that's either famous or, yo, there's a guy I saw that did this or X, Y, and Z. That happens all the time. You know, it's happened to big guys. There's guys I know that are like that are household names that have had to cut stuff out of specials because these type of things have happened. You know what I mean? Like, oh damn, okay. Thank you for letting me know. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that, right? And we help each other drop jokes. Like if the joke is bad, we normally will tell my like, yo, man, that's kind of whatever the case may be, X, Y, Z. All right. Now, for the most part, I don't usually just come out of nowhere and say this to somebody. I don't say anything because, believe it or not, comics are very sensitive people. Very sensitive people. But, yeah. So, it was a comic, man. They have this thing that they do. I'm not even going to say what they do. But they have a thing that they do in their act that I have personally seen a few times from other comics of the past, right? I've never seen it on TV. I've never seen it on YouTube. I've never seen it like that. These are things that I've seen live, and I learned that like it's a thing that it's not a thing that can actually be shown on TV or anything like that. It's only something that actually can be done in a live setting because it's pretty explicit. You know what I mean? So anyway, one night I'm hanging out. We're hanging out on this rooftop, and it's just comics up there, and we're all talking. And me and another friend of mine, we kind of say to the newer comic, "Yo, that thing that you do, we're not telling you to not do it. All we're saying is that you might just try to write towards not doing that thing, meaning try to write more into the original part." Using your words because all of that stuff is great. So try to lean that way and try to have more sets where you're not relying on this little thing that you're doing that is a bit hacky and all kind of shit like that. Uh, just try to lean more that way, just to help strengthen your set so that this thing doesn't become a crutch, right? That's the gist of pretty much what we said. Well, this comic took that shit as I don't know what. I think they took it as like negativity. They took it as us hating and shitting and blah 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 and all this type of stuff, right? And I do want to say, the exception of like all of the veteran guys and big guys and all this type of shit. I don't ever talk like this, but I'm not like threatened or hating on any comic that's like within my peer group at all. I wish everybody the best. If we all find our lane, there's enough for all of us to eat and to get out here. But you start getting labeled as all kind of different shit. I don't know, when you kind of have a different perspective on comedy. I'll just say that. When you got a kind of different perspective on things, people start looking at you differently. So I said this to this comic. They got offended that night, and they were defending their bit that they do, as they should. All right, cool. They're defending the bit. That's no problem. But this comic is, I'm not, like I say, I've only been doing it 7 years. I got a long way to go. But somebody that's been doing it less time than me, I could, I feel like I could offer something because those feelings or whatever it is that you're going through, it might be a bit foreign. You know what I mean? Because you new to comedy. So I feel like there's some people that I can help out. All right. So I left it at that. That conversation that happened on that rooftop, I left it there. Well, this comic, I guess, held on to it forever. Okay? Held on to it. Like, all right. Which I found that they did hold on to it. Because the next time they see me, after we do a show, I'm downstairs, I'm smoking a cigar, I'm hanging. Now, here's what I'm saying, where it comes at. Where there's a part of my life where I'm non-confrontational. And because I'm non-confrontational, I think people mistake that for me being a bitch. I think they do. I think they go like, oh, this motherfucker here, he ain't going to do nothing. I could just say whatever I want to say to him. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And they come up and they say whatever, and I'm not going to respond. I'm not going to respond and make a scene because it's ridiculous, right? If you do that every time there's a confrontation, believe it or not, you end up becoming a person that is looked at as problematic. Because it's like you're always in some shit. You're always in some drama. You're always the one that's in something. So, but this is what happens when people think they can disrespect you. They actually end up saying disrespectful shit. I'm sitting there, I'm smoking a cigar with one of my buddies, having a good time. I just had a pretty decent set. I'm all right. I'm trying to work it through some stuff, but we all good. This comic comes up to me, shakes my hand, say, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. And they go, it's good to see you too. And the crowd, well, I'll tell you, let me back up. The show I had, there was a guy at the show that was disruptive throughout the whole show. Now, I don't know this. I don't watch everybody when I go up. Most of these shows that I'm on, I'm going last. I have to close them out. I just can't sit through that much comedy. I just can't. It drives me crazy. It makes me anxious. It makes me want to go up on stage. I get worked up. I can't sit there and do it. So I have to go walk around and I'm busy. I'm gone. And when they tell me, hey man, you next, I'm like, all right, cool. Let me get in there real quick. So, but anyway, there was a guy at the show who was disrupted the whole time. I called him out for being disruptive during my set. He was heckling a little bit. I called him out a little bit. I shut him down a few times. Now, apparently previously, the comics that were going up, they were just kind of like stopping them from talking, like, hey man, hey, what's up? Like that type of thing. And then carrying on what they said. Well, I leaned into them for like 6 minutes because the material I'm doing, I'm working through it, but it's starting to become stale to me. So I'm needing stuff to research to get through the sets until I figure out the other little pieces that bring those jokes to life again. So I'm like, oh, I can't wait for this. So I go off on him for about 6 minutes, in and out my set, close, do fine, get off. So when we downstairs, a lot of who we hanging out with is people that was at the show, because I'm just sitting there smoking and hanging, and that's how I chill. And they like me. All of these people like me, right? They like me because I shut the Kevin dude down. They like, thank you. He ruined the fucking show. He just kept talking throughout the whole thing. And y'all saying this, saying that. He was obnoxious. They was happy somebody finally, tapped in and said something. I'm like, oh, thank you, blah, blah, blah. So the comic comes up to me, shakes my hand, hey, what's up? And was like, hey, it's kind of a pleasure to see you. I'm like, oh, good to see you too. So then the audience members that was next to us says, yeah, you were great. The way you shut that guy down, that was awesome. And then the comic that approached me says, yeah, he's cool, because I was starting to think he was one of them kind of Negroes that would be like, hey, massa, they over there. They over there, massa. Go get them, massa. They over there. Massa, they. First of all, don't nobody even talk like that no more. But also, why? Why does it always like why every time a black man is away that a person don't agree with, right? Or whatever they feel is some indifference on, they immediately go to something like that. Man, I want to know this. We always argue and yell at white people, right? And tell white people that all black people are not the same way. But then when we meet a black person that is not like us, we call them things that ostracizes them from the community. It's so hypocritical in my opinion. We tell white people or other people that are not black that all black people are not the same way. But then we criticize black people that are different. It's like, which one is it? Am I allowed to be myself? Am I allowed to be different? Or do I have to be the way that you want me to be? Plus, I don't even know what the fuck that's rooted in. I honestly don't know what it's rooted in, and I'm damn sure not finna get into some type of situation where I'm having to prove my blackness to anybody. I don't give a fuck what y'all think about me. One thing you can't say about me is that I'm not funny. You can't fucking say that shit when I'm on that stage at fucking all. And that's the only thing that matters. All this other shit that they're bringing up, I have no idea. Because I have white friends. I got I, I got white friends. I got friends of everybody. I'm cool with everybody. I fuck with everybody. So I don't even think about any of that shit. I got tunnel vision on what it is that I want for my life. And when you locked into that point, for some fucking reason, people that are not as focused as you are, they let so much other bullshit become the topic. They let so much other bullshit like get in the way of things. All I give a fuck about is developing jokes and delivering them on stage. That's fucking it. Developing jokes, delivering them on stage. Trying to do the things that are necessary to advance my career. That's all the fuck I care about right now. There ain't never been some issue that came up where I didn't deceive somebody. I ain't never been in no racial situation where I've had to choose some fucking side. I pick peace. I always pick peace. So this shit is starting to bother me. Like, because it's like another time this happened. I went to go do this taping, which I felt fucking terrible about. And there was another comic in there that was on some bullshit. It was all black comics that was up there. And you know how it is in your life where we all have a different role that we kind I don't want to say that we play, but we all got a way that we are when we're around certain people. When we're around our family, some people when they're around their family, that's when they're the most loud. That's when they talk the most. That's when they're more outgoing. And then there's some of us when we get around our family, we're a little more reserved. We're a little quiet. And we may be that way with different family members. Maybe on your mom's side, you're a little more outgoing. On your dad's side, you're a little more reserved. Right? At work, I'm pretty sure when you get around your coworkers, you're not as confessional as you would usually be. Most people are like a little reserved. They got a little bit of a guard up. But I just had a way that I am. Um, when I go to places where it's like predominantly white people or something like that, I talk. I'm pretty much myself. You know what I'm saying? But my friends, they know me. I can't be quiet for too long. If I'm quiet for too long, they're like, "Hey man, what's wrong? What the fuck bother you?" Trey, talk. Well, believe it or not, I'm really introverted. I don't want to talk, but there's always been a pressure to talk because I was the most outgoing of the kids. So whenever I'm in a situation and it gets quiet, I do feel a little like, oh shit, like let's kind of talk about something. Like this silence is a little weird. And then there's times where if everybody is already talking, right? If I go into a situation, if I come in somewhere and I'm late, I speak to everybody that's in the room, okay? And then I get out of the way because everybody is having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So there's no need for me to try to jump into this or what y'all talking about, what's happening, because then you look like the motherfucker that need attention. So I'm not for any of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. So that's what happened. We was there for that taping. I went up there. I walked in. I was one of the last ones to come in. Everybody's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Trey?" I'm like, "Hey, everybody." And then I spoke to everybody individually. "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" The people I didn't know. "What's up, man? My name Trey Tutson. How you doing?" "Yeah, yeah, yeah." Boom, boom, boom. And then I hugged this wall. And then everybody was having a conversation. And as they having a conversation, now I'll tell you what the conversation was about. They was having a fuck this person conversation. You ever hear one of them conversations like, "Man, fuck him because, fuck her because, I don't fuck with this person." They was having one of them "I don't fuck with you" conversations. I don't get involved in that shit. It take a lot of alcohol for me to start telling you who I don't fuck with. I'm not gonna have a motherfucking night where I'm just like, "Tonight is the night where I burn the bridge." That ain't how I roll. So what I did was I got in the back, I hugged the corner, and I just kind of sat and I listened to everybody talk. I laughed when the moments was funny. I leaned in more when the conversation became a little interesting. But I'm chilling. I'm reserved. I'm also thinking about the taping. I'm thinking about my set. I'm thinking about all this stuff. In the middle of me doing all of this, one of the comics yell out, "Hey, Trey, I know this is a culture shock for you." And it's all black people. And it make everybody in the room look at me a particular way. Now I'm looked at as like that, whatever, this other thing or whatever the case may be. I got judged, you know what I'm saying? Like when I went up to do my set, everybody else, it seemed like everybody else was watching each other's sets in support of, including me. I'm watching, I want everybody to do well. I felt like when that person said that, the energy shifted. And motherfuckers was watching the like, I don't say the root against me, but they were just watching it being like, "He ain't gonna be able to pull it off up in here." It's like, man, look, the common denominator has always been funny. I aim for funny. So this comic, back to Saturday night, this comic says this and says this thing of like, I'm like basically like I'm some handkerchief ass Negro that's like, "Hey, massa, they over there," type shit. So they say this and I'm like, damn, okay. All right. So they proceed to have a conversation about the bit that we talked about this, that, and the fourth. I never said that this person shouldn't do it. I just said try to do more sets without it because it'll make your set stronger. And even when you do that, it's gonna make it pop even harder. That's all the fuck I said. That's all I said. Man, by the way, I have not brought it up since, and that person continues to do that bit, and they do fine. They do great. It's fine. It works for them. But then this person proceeds to talk shit about me to these audience members. And I'm trying to ignore it because I got another conversation happening over to the left of me. So I'm trying to be locked into this conversation. But when you hear somebody talking about you, it's hard not to chime in and be like, so I'm chiming in a little bit like, "Hey, hey, hey, that ain't the case, blah, blah, blah." And they doing that thing where they like, "No, no, no, I'm not saying, what I'm saying is yada, 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 Buddha, Buddha." And you like, okay. And then that happened a couple times and I was like, all right, I see what type of person this is. And I just go and ignore completely. Right? I'm ignoring this person completely. And they over there talking shit. Talking shit to the point to where these people that liked me for shutting that guy down earlier in the show, they are beginning to look at me in a bad way. They're beginning to look at me under the labels that this person has illustrated me to be under. Like, all right, man, whatever. Night ends, is over with. Next day, I'm supposed to go to Austin, Texas. I blew that. I'm supposed to go to Austin, Texas to go to the Mothership, currently known as one of the greatest clubs on earth right now. Everybody that does it goes, "Bro, this is like the most perfect club," yada, 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 yada. All this stuff. And then you find out all these people that got all these feelings about Joe Rogan and shit like that. I don't want to hear that shit. I get annoyed at hearing that shit. Like you bring up somebody's name and the first thing out of the person's mouth is the most negative shit about that person. Like, who gives a fuck? To quote J. Cole, goddammit, if you broke and clowning a millionaire, the joke is on you. Like, what are we even doing? Like, this guy opened up another. If you a comic and he opened up another club, why are you acting like it's this whole? I can't stand it. There's a bunch of niggas that live in up there in Brooklyn and Portland and all these fucking super gentrified ass places. You're listening to white women tell you how to be. That's what the fuck you are listening to. You listen to white people tell like lead the way of telling you how to be, and how do you actually feel? Without the influence of your environment, how do you actually feel? That's the thing that I feel like you gotta really be in touch with. How do you actually feel? Me, I know I am a person. I have no goddamn feelings on anybody's issues but mine's. Motherfucker, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Nothing. How do I feel about it? I don't know. Maybe I'm oblivious to a thing, to a fault. Like, I just choose to, like, I don't give a fuck about any of that. Yeah, I'm gonna go do that club because there's people in that bitch. And I just care about expressing myself to audiences to try to get a laugh out of them. That's fucking it. I don't have some other plan. All you niggas is out here that's like trying to like change the world joke by joke. Good luck. I'm not gonna shit on you, but good luck, my nigga. I ain't shitting on you, so don't down me for my approach at it, which is just to go up and be as funny as I can be every time. That's all the fuck I'm trying to do. That's all I try to do with this fucking podcast. But so the next day comes. I was supposed to go to Austin. I can't go to Austin. Shit got crazy. I can't go. Gotta tell my buddy I can't make it. So I go to the club. I go to the Riot to go watch one of my friends do stand up because I know he's working on a bit and probably wanted some tags. Or hey man, this is all I can see right here. I don't have no tags and nothing right here, or maybe I have some or whatever. But I'm gonna go watch him work out his new bit and see him try to get through it or whatever. Right? I get there. That comic is on that show. I had no idea. Comic goes up. They do fine. They do their thing. Great. They do it without doing the bit that we discussed months prior. Great. Fantastic. Whatever. I end up on the second show. Usually I go to this club. If I show up, they'll try to make time for me. And I am forever grateful for that. So this comic goes up. They're doing their set. They're doing the bit. The bit that we discussed. They're shitting on me. They're not saying my name, but people that know of the situation, it's pretty obvious that they are shitting on me while they're doing the bit. Hilarious. Once again, saying a bunch of shit about me that is not true. So I go up. I have a really rough set. For my standard, I have a really rough set. I get off stage, it's fine. When I get off stage, well, I had to address that person while I was on stage, the comic, because while I was on stage, they were talking throughout most of my set, doing little shit like commenting on things. And I go, hey, what did you say? And then they said what they said. And I just went like, oh, okay. And I moved on and I closed out my set and I was done. When I'm done, I'm sitting on a stack of chairs. My feet are swinging. I'm doing this on purpose. This person tries to joke with me about me being small. Come over and says to me, I know you probably hate me, but, and I'm like, no. And I gave that comic a fist bump. And then they proceed to start talking about this thing again. This fucking bit that I don't care about. This hacky ass bit I don't really care about. I was just trying to be helpful, but you keep making it a thing. I don't give a shit. So I was already talking to another comic that was asking me something about how to strengthen the 10 minutes that they have. And I asked this person, I go, are you drunk? Now, believe it or not, if this person was drunk, I would have actually heard them out. I would have heard them out because, I don't know, they just got it out, and I would have been able to take it in because it's just a drunk person talking. But when this person told me, like, no, I'm not drunk at all, I'm finna ignore you. Cause that means you just coming off the like. And what is the conversation to even have? Your mind is made up on how you think I meant whatever I said to you. So we're not gonna come to a solution because you are locked in on being on the miscommunication. You're locked in on misinterpreting this thing. So I went, and then they proceed to do the same thing they did the night before with the shit talking, but say like not saying my name, being like some people like to ignore people. You know, people try to do this, and you know, in people, which they could just say my name. They proceeded to try to do this. The person that they were talking to tried to redirect that energy to who they felt it was intended for. Hey, I think you're talking to Trey. Do you mean to say this to Trey? This person folds and they leave. And here's the thing, man. Every comic is narcissistic to a degree. We all have those characteristics. Not all of them, but we got a few of them in there. It's one of the things that helps us even be able to get up on stage. And then there's comics that have that shit like on a whole nother level off stage. So, man, I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to just keep my distance completely. Like, I've said this shit. I've asked myself this shit. Because I want to get off of everything. I want to get off of social media. I want to get off. There's so many things I want to get off of. Like, I don't want to fucking deal with a lot of this shit anymore. Because it's just kind of like becoming a thing. Like, it's becoming a major. Like, I'm ending up in shit with people, right? People talking shit about me and this, that, and the fourth. And I want to know, how the fuck do you stay? How do you disconnect from all this bullshit while you're broke? Because when you rich, you could just turn shit off and be like, fuck it, I'm disappearing. I'm taking a hiatus. I don't need to be connected. God damn it, I got money. But when you broke, you got to kind of stay in the loop of shit. And I'm kind of speaking as a comic. Like, as a broke comic, you got to kind of stay in the loop of shit. You know who I envy more than anybody right now in this world? Is fucking Pete Davidson. He is a young man with a flip phone. Do you know how awesome that shit? You know how healthy that is? To be a young man, a young successful man with a flip phone? That means you give yourself the opportunity to actually create. You give yourself the opportunity to actually bring in creative energy. You block out negativity at a high level. I just can't fucking do it. I can't do it. I got to set up shit. I got to do podcasts out here on the patio, and I got to be out here. I got to interact and shit because I ain't reached that level of success. That's weird, but that's what I want. I want flip phone success. I want to be at a level where I don't need my goddamn smartphone. I could give me the dumbest phone out there. I want a phone that ain't going to be able to walk on graduation. You understand what I'm saying? I want a phone that ain't got enough credits. Because staying in the loop is bullshit. So I've been trying. People have been helping me out. They've been like, this is how you can block this out, bro. You need to figure out a way to get to a point where you can block this out. Because none of it matters. So I want to say to y'all, and then I had some shit with my parents where I don't even want to get into it. Like, it's too painful. You know, it's too painful. I don't really want to talk about it. I don't really have anybody to talk to. You know, shit's bananas. I'm not necessarily happy with a lot of the decisions I've made. Fucking lay down sometimes, just be like, what the fuck? I remember the other night, I had to go, like, I couldn't sleep, so I just got up and I went to the gym to go run, and I couldn't even look myself in the mirror. But after I ran 4 miles, I was like, I'm proud of you. You did it. I felt a little better. So, I don't know. I told that long ass story. I guess I basically was just saying, like, just do your best to avoid shit and don't give nobody no advice unless they fucking ask for it. Don't ever try to help nobody out again. Fuck doing anything. Fuck the intention, because people don't give a fuck about intention. They just care about how they received shit. That's all that matters is how you received it. And if I would say this, I receive anything if I feel like it's from an actual place of love. If I feel like it's from an actual place of love, I I can receive it. If I feel like it's on some bullshit or if it's from a place of malice, I need that to get the fuck away from and out of my life. And just because you love me, that doesn't mean that everything that you do towards me is from a place of love. Sometimes the people that love you, they say shit to hurt your feelings because they feel like it's the best way to get to you. God damn it, hurt feelings and shit. I'm not mad at it. If you say something that's truthful and honest, I'm not never even mad at it. You know, um, but it don't mean that it doesn't hurt, and it don't mean it ain't gonna take me time to heal and get through it. So, but you know what, man? I just the advice I got from these older gentlemen. I think I'm just gonna live my motherfucking life that way. I'm not. Uh, I'm just gonna live my life like to myself and be more private and I suggest I did that. I fucked up. Remember last year I was talking about this, being more private, being more to myself, and then I had a few deaths in the family, and I was like, "Oh, the concept of family and togetherness and all of that bullshit is, it's important. I need to fucking lock in and goddamn it and do it and be it." And now I'm paying for it. I'm paying for it. God damn it, you set a goal, you gotta commit. Stick all the way through. I'm not fucking with nobody, nigga. I'm gonna figure out a way to get me an igloo. Just me and my dog. Tom, this me and you till we die. You cool with that? He like, fuck you, nigga. I'm out of here first. Well, that's been another episode of the Tutson Interruption. Um, I don't know. If I upload this, maybe I probably won't. I don't know. I might just need to just get this shit out. I'm gonna play it back. If there's anything in it that even remotely seems entertaining, you'll see this. If you're seeing this, know that it was something that made me be like, I should publish it. I'll put it out. But yeah, that's all I can say. Thank you guys. I think I got another live Tutson Interruption, May 17th in Bryan, Texas. Waiting on that. Waiting to hear back from. I'm supposed to do Cap City May 19th. I was supposed to headline that. Haven't got an email back confirming that shit. Fuck you gonna offer it to me? Then when I'm like, oh, you're like, hey, all right, cool, and then these motherfuckers. We'll figure this shit out though. We still got angles though. Let's talk about it. We still got angles. Goddamn it. Let's look. Let's right here. We angles in this bitch. We got angles, dog. We got angles, bro. I gotta point it out. I gotta yell out that we got angles because who knows. Thank y'all. It's been another episode. Y'all take care.